Hey all, Hipper here. So it's getting close to the end of the year, so I thought I would do some special videos here at the end. This one here is about the best double strikes of the past year of 2021. I had a lot and I had to go through them all and I had to pick the best ones, and I think I have picked the most interesting and the most action-packed here. Most of them are with Hipper, because I've been playing that ship a lot this year, which is a good thing, because up until the buff of Hipper recently, that ship was like really not played a lot, and by anyone basically, not even me. I thought it was the worst tier 7 cruiser, and yeah, well, you see what a buff can do, because now it is actually probably my favorite tier 7 cruiser. I'd also say that German cruisers like Hipper and Prinz Eugen, and also the German battleships with torpedoes, they're probably some of the best ships to get double strikes in, simply because you have your guns and you also have your torpedoes. So obviously most double strikes happen when you hit one ship with guns and another ship with torpedoes. Of course, not always, but in this case here, we actually get two after we already get whacked ourselves. I mean, how awesome is that? And yeah, some people like Krakens and some people like high calibers and stuff like that. I think double strikes are some of the most entertaining situations you can pretty much have in this game here. And so that was a Hipper battle. So let's move on to something very different here, which is the Brawling. Now this is an unlikely ship to brawl in, because it's not exactly that sturdy, but it is actually quite a good brawler, and most people forget about the torpedo armament on this ship here, because unless you play it yourself, it's very rare to see anyone use the torpedoes on Brawling, because they are only 4 kilometer range and their use, is pretty limited. But in a situation like this where you have two ships about 5 kilometers away, the torps are just great. So see, I fire one set on my right side, hoping to get that Dallas, and then a wide set here to get the Eagle, because you fire 5 torpedoes out of each bank here. So the wide sets are actually useful on this cruiser here. If you only had 4, then and there we get both of them. And I mean, is there a better feeling in a game? Yeah, I don't think so. Alright, so if we stick around here, and this is actually the same map and pretty much the same situation really, except this time I'm in the tier 7 Hipper, and like I said before, this is one of the best ships for getting double strikes, because you have so many torpedoes, and you have very, very nice firing angles, and at the same time you have that punishing AP. So if you get a good torp hit and then a very nice citadel, well then you can get away with a very nice double strike. And in this case here, these two guys here are pretty much caught in a pretty bad situation here. So we got one down here, and then just gonna see if we can get the Suzuya here. And it was a double strike. It must have been right in the last second, because it took a while, but still counted. So up next we have one of my favorites, and that's when two battleships try to push a Hipper. And that usually ends in a pretty bad situation for the battleships. Because if you want to push a Hipper, well, you better make sure that you actually succeed. What is it the saying is? If you're going to shoot at the king, you better not miss. And Hipper is the king in this situation here, and we have two battleships and they are going in together, and the key here is to get off as many torpedoes as possible. So I use the fast rudder to turn to one side and then get off just 2 salvos on that side, and then I'm going to see if I can't make it to turn around and get off the other side of torpedoes as well. And ambushes like this is what I live and breathe for in Hipper, and that's why I play this ship so aggressively, because I want to set up these situations here, and there's no better ship for it really. Hipper is so tanky that you can see here you can be in full view of battleships for a long time and still get away with actually picking them both off the map. So yeah, it's so much fun. So up next we have another wonderful brawler, and it is the Prinz Eugen. And like I said, like Eugen and Hipper, they can really ruin your day if you let them in close like these guys here has. Like there's 3 ships here. Of course the Massachusetts pretty much dead, because I kind of bullied him before I started this clip here. And the Amalfi, there's really nothing he can do, and he keeps going broadside, so he's going to take a lot of nasty punishment. And the torpedoes take out the Massachusetts here, and there's an unlucky torpedo there that we just have to accept. And we got a double strike on the other ship as well. And if there was something called triple strikes, I think this would probably qualify. I'm pretty sure I get this within another 10 seconds. So unfortunately, there's no such thing. So this next one here is not technically a double strike. I think I'm out by about a second, but I decided to include it because it is the Edinburgh, and it's just a fun ship, and I needed to have a little bit of diversity in here because I don't want it all to be Hipper and Prinz Eugen. So that's also why I have a lot of double strike with those 2 ships, but like I said, I don't want the whole video to be just about those ships. So we get to Suzuya here. And then there's a battleship coming around the corner here, and of course we have the right side of torpedoes ready, and the Iowa is pretty much asking for it at this point here. And obviously we're going to take a nasty hit and die here, because I don't really get my bow in the position I want, and it's a kamikaze double strike, but still, well, almost a double strike I guess, but I count it as a double strike. Okay, next we're back in the Hipper, and there's a few reds hiding behind this island here, and like I said, you have a lot of torpedoes on these ships here, so all you gotta do is pretty much is just sit here and wait until they get impatient. And we're only facing a Miyoko here, so that's not really much of a problem. The destroyer is more of a problem because it looks like he's going to do a YOLO thing here, and we'll just have to keep his torpedoes in mind when we maneuver, because obviously I want to get my torpedoes in play on my, which would be my right side, I guess. So we just have to be a little careful here and use the fast rudder to wiggle around the torpedoes and then punish the Miyoko at the same time. So yes, this is fun, and I love brawling in this game, and I love brawling in Hipper particularly because it's just so good at it. And if you can get into situations like this, you're going to absolutely devastate whoever thinks they can take you. And yes, that is just probably some of the best fun you're gonna have in this game here. I just take a torpedo there, but I'd say it was still a pretty good effort. So the Miyoko is down, and then we just need to get a good shot at this destroyer here, and the double strike is in the house. So in this clip here in Albemarle, I have a fire going on the King George V out there in the horizon, and I kind of forget about this. So this is kind of an unintentional double strike, if you can call them that, because I'm focusing on this set 23 here that I want to get out of the way. And double strikes like these, they're also good fun because, like I said, I completely forgot about that battleship there, and he's just burning nicely and somewhere on the map, and just happens to to sink pretty much the same exact second that I finish off this set 23 here. Unfortunately, I take a torpedo there I didn't really expect, but a double strike it is. So up next we have the Edinburgh again, and this time we are the sole ship trying to actually take this A-cap here from these guys. And I mean, I have a lot of health, and that's pretty much the thing that I have going for me here, because this is a Vlad and a Baltimore, and on paper this should be a lost fight before it even started. I mean, these two guys here are in very good positions to actually take me out, because they are like on each side of me. But for some reason they decide to take me on, and well, that's a mistake. So the Baltimore goes down first, and then the Vlad right after, and another double strike down. So this next one here is in Edinburgh as well, and in this situation here, a Chapayev and an Iowa are kind of trying to sneak around my back. Of course, I know they're there, and I'm just waiting for them to be in a good position for me to fire torpedoes at them. And as soon as my secondaries go off, then it's time to take out this Iowa here. And the Chapayev is just asking for it. They're going totally broadside to a loaded Edinburgh at like less than 2 kilometers. And of course, the torpedoes finish off the Iowa. So there we have another double strike. And yeah, I also like Edinburgh. Alright, so we'll finish this montage here off with the original brawler and double strike maker, which is the Hipper. And I always say I love Hotspot in this cruiser here, because it's just a perfect map for brawling, ambushing, citadeling, and obviously torpedoing. Because Hotspot, it really forces everyone to head into the hotspot, because if you're not in the hotspot, you're going to lose the battle, because then the enemies has the hotspot and you don't get any tickets. A lot of players still don't get that about this map here, but that's it. I mean, if you don't push in, or you sit in your battleship behind one of the islands next to the hotspot, well, chances are you're going to lose. So on this map here, Hipper is a force to be reckoned with, because everyone has to push in sooner or later, and you just have to wait for that moment in your Hipper and take advantage of it. So we're actually facing another Hipper here. So in this case here, it is survival of the most agile, and in this case, that is me. So yes, another double strike there, and that's it for this year. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you out there, guys.